Okay, so have you ever felt like you were lost, you were in a new area, you didn't know much, and you were standing next to a friend who was going through the experience with you, say you wanted to go on a road trip and you guys were experiencing this new thing, but she didn't know very much either, you guys didn't really research anything. Well, as the Bible says, if the blind lead the blind, they both shall fall into a ditch. I just recently had an experience like this. Well, not recently, but it was I was a junior in high school, and we had to go take our SATs. And me and my best friend, we thought we knew the area of Newport Beach and the high school that we were going to take our SATs. We were driving around. We didn't MapQuest this area, and so we arrived to our SATs 30 minutes late. And as we're there, we look onto this paper where it directs you to the area that you had to go to sit down and take your SATs. So I figured that all the B's would be in one section according to your last name. So there I was walking into the classroom, late to my SATs. And I sit down and they're like, well, who are you? And I was just like, well, my name is Briana.MPG. I'm here to take my test. And they're like, you're in the wrong classroom. So, thank God, my best friend was there sitting next to me, and she was in her right classroom. She didn't want to tell me that I was, in the wrong classroom. Why, if she knew that she was in the right spot, why couldn't she direct me to the right place? So, what I'm trying to say is, if one person doesn't know where they're going, and they should help the other person out, so they won't both fall into this ditch like the Bible said. For the future, I learned from this experience, and I'm glad that my friend wasn't able to tell me that, because now I know that, I'll be smarter. I'll look for areas where I can, really, how can I say this? So if so to conclude, for the future, I'm gonna, be more confident and know where I'm going with things, and not allow myself to be blinded by her for our both insecurities.
I'm just previewing them. All right, you start with a rhetorical question, and then it kind of turns into an example, and I'm not exactly sure that you had a grip of where you were going at the beginning of the speech. You did get us to, you had a good example that you're talking about, and you did finally get us to the quote and your point of view on that, so I think that's okay. In the body of the speech, it sounds like you were putting it, I've got a past example, and we should talk about the future, but we never really get to the future, so although there's an implied structure, I'm not exactly sure that you followed through on that. You had good details on the one example that you talked about. You told us a story there, and that helps give you something to talk about and us something to listen to. On the presentation, your voice projects well, you've got good variety, the energy level is okay, maybe you're rushing a little bit. I thought you had some good indicators. You're animated as a speaker with your facial expressions, but in the last minute or so, we get a lot of also anxiety sorts of expressions too. Uncertainty, hesitation. I think you get stuck at one point trying to figure out the next thing that you're going to say, and you just sort of shake it off and bail on it, which is what you want to do, but I think you draw a little bit more attention to it with your facial expressions than you need to. So that's the place where your anxiety comes out. I think you need a clearer exit than you do, and you need to kind of come back to the point that you were saying with the quote, that you share this point of view because of this, and this was a good illustration of that, and that's sort of why I feel that way about this particular topic. As it just seemed like it ends, and it's not as graceful as it could be, but it wasn't a disaster either. And so I think you come across as a little unsatisfied with your own exit at the end of the speech instead of being confident with it. And I think that that's not something that you want to do. All right. Thank you all very much for being here, ready to go. We have maybe, it looks like, 8 or 9 more speeches to do. If those are is that your topic? Don't put it back in there because we're not going to reuse topics. Sorry. All right, and don't forget to bring a Scantron on Thursday. Wednesday, because we have the test. No, you keep that. That's your souvenir of the day. Yeah. I didn't want. She was putting hers back in, and I didn't want that back in. Oh, see, here's another one. That's back in. Yeah, you got to fill out the bottom part while you're watching your speech.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Man. Am I ever going to get these speeches right?
You were not bad. You were okay. You just needed. I think you're bailing on yourself more than anything else.
I just didn't comfortable. I'm not used to.
Did you ever make a study guide or anything?
No, I didn't. I don't think anybody would be surprised about most of the questions. We kind of ran out of time. Yeah, I don't have a separate study guide.
Just
You got the chapters, though.
Tuesday after the speeches, right?
Oh yeah, you're. I'm sorry. On Wednesday, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Wednesday, yes.
Okay.
You're just like me. You're mixing up which days you're here,
Yeah.
which is perfectly understandable.
All right.
How do we watch the YouTube?
Go to the YouTube channel, which is on my blog page, and look for your speech. If you can't, it'll probably, they're the most recent ones up, so you go to the first page, and then the next page, and the next page. Just go to the most recent pages. Yours will be in by initial, so, not initial, by name, and so you type in Michael, for instance, and all the people with the name Michael on my page will come up. But you have to go to my channel and do the search of my channel, not the whole YouTube, because if you type in Michael on the whole YouTube channel, who knows what you'll get. Okay? All right. But like I said, yours will be today. If you go in this afternoon or this evening, yours will be up on the first page, or you might have to go back one page. Okay? Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing well enough in this class.
You're doing okay. You want to do better, but you're doing okay. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing, so I wouldn't panic.